Last time on Family Movie Collaboration, a trailer for a superhero movie, a top 10 Japanese cartoons list, and a 1970s family classic. You can pretty much figure out the rest from here. Dear Diary, it's been quite a few months since I posted the last review on this show, and it looks like things are slowing down as usual since then. Oh, and before you ask, this is not a diary I'm writing in, it's a journal. Although, it kind of doesn't make any sense to call it a diary, but hey, I have to throw in a Diary of a Wimpy Kid reference just for the hell of it. But anyways, I got a chance to help my family out a little more last Christmas, and I even got caught up with my work schedule every once in a while. But I wonder what will be in store for making more reviews. Well, I guess I'll find out soon enough. Love, Ackley Attack 4427. Wait, why did I wrote love in there? That makes no sense.
Hey, Ben.
Ah! Oh, Fluttershy plushie, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to check up on you to see how you are doing. And on top of that, this is actually my first time appearing in this show since you forgot to put me in your earlier episodes.
Oh yeah, sorry, I completely forgot about that. Oh, and by the way, I must ask, are you saying that you want to be in this just so that we could directly rip off Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Maybe. Oh, and by the way, I forgot, since this is the new year, you might as well make another family movie collaboration video.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I guess that's the second time someone has told me to do that. But I can't seem to question on who told Athena back in my Ant-Man trailer review on who told her about that.
Oh, that's easy. I did.
You did? How?
Well, I know you haven't done one since your take on the nominations for the 2014 Razzie Awards, so I sent a note to Athena saying that you should do more. And I thought the trailer for Ant-Man would be the perfect one for you to catch up on what you missed.
Oh, so you were the one who told me to do more. That explains a whole lot. Well, I better get right to it.
Wait, before you do so, I did only 3 things for you since you wanted to keep evolving your craft.
Well, what's that?
Well, I got you some new camera equipment.
Nice. That'll make things a whole lot more professional. What else you got?
Well, I got you a new computer.
Ha, sweet! A brand new iMac computer! Good thing I got rid of that Windows 7 computer. And what's the third thing?
Well, look in your closet.
Wow, it looks nice. How did you get those?
Amazon and Spreadshirt.
Oh well, I can't really argue about that, and I know what I must do. And still, I can't really stop doing what I love the most. I have to keep going what I love to do, because this is a new age, a new era, a new opportunity for me to get some of that good old-fashioned family movies for me to look at. This is the new family movie collaboration.
Family movie collaboration, family movie collaboration, family movie collaboration.
Current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic.
He's the world's most famous YouTube critic. Family movie
He really rocks.
He's a critic in a nutshell, but not one bit.
Hey, go screw yourself.
When family movies attack, if some are good, he'll hit them back. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration. Fluttershy Plushie taught him to be goofy.
She's a radical plushie.
It's just so cool to review family movies.
Plane still sucks.
And that's really all that there is. What you're hearing now are Philly lyrics. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration.
Current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic.
You see, I told you I would create a new intro for this show. But anyways, hello and welcome to Season 2 of Family Movie Collaboration. Now, I call it Season 2 as sort of a new beginning for this show because, well, while the last 10 episodes, while some of them are good, I wish I could have done a little bit more to it. So that's why I'm labeling this as the new season, or the beginning of a new series, that is, because pretty self-explanatory, I need to improve a whole lot so I could be improved as an even guy named Stevens. Even Stevens. Who remembers that show? I do. It was pretty silly. And for those of you who are new to the show and want to skip the last 10 episodes, my name is AckleyTech4427 and this is Family Movie Collaboration. The show where I review family movies, both current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic. Well, actually, to be fair, what I mean by not too nostalgic is basically anything way beyond this passage of time. Maybe like some older movies from the early 1900s, but you get the idea. So, most of the stuff that I review on this show are just basically family movies, because that's the genre that I grew up with, and most of the movies that I've seen came from, well, that genre. So, to start off Season 2, let's go to my DVD cabinet to see what movie I'm gonna review. Let's see. How about Matilda? You know, this is actually a really good movie. I have to admit, Mara Wilson isn't that bad in it. Maybe later. Alright. Let's see. How about Pokemon the first movie? You know, this is actually one of my guilty pleasures, and I've always wanted to do it for quite some time. Maybe later. I'll just wait until I get requests to review this movie as well as all the other Pokemon movies. Alright, let's see. What else can we find here? Oh! How about Oz the Great and Powerful? Again, I do have to admit, it's not that bad, but to his credit, James Franco is a really good actor and
Ackley, I hate to spoil the bad news for you, but, you already reviewed that movie 2 years ago, so there's no reason for you to review it again.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sometimes I always keep forgetting my earlier episodes nowadays. Oh well. Well, looks like I'm gonna find one movie and one movie only. But what the hell am I gonna review? What the hell am I gonna review? Oh, well, how about Flushed Away? You know, it's actually been quite a while since I've seen this movie, and I do admit, it's a good movie by both DreamWorks and Arming Animation. It has a great story. And you know what? Why not? I mean, come on, since this is the new season, I think it makes sense if I review this to start it off. So yeah.
Yep, looks like it's been quite a while since I reviewed a movie by one of Disney's greatest rivals, so I guess it makes sense if I go for them again, except this time on one of their projects with one of their collaborators. For those who don't know, this flick, while somewhat made by DreamWorks, is required the help of British animation company Arming Animation, the same company that made Wallace and Gromit, that weird TV show Shaun the Sheep, and of course their biggest accomplishment, Chicken Run. But believe it or not, the idea for this came from the mind of animator Sam Fell. He said that one day while working on production for Chicken Run, he came up with the idea about rats falling in love in the sewer. Armin agreed to the idea while being in partnership with DreamWorks and hired comic writers Dick Clement and Ian LaFrancis to write the script under the working title Ratropolis, thus changing it to Flushed Away and released by Paramount, thus resulting in a movie with some really clever choices.
What are those choices, you may ask? Well, we might as well find out by revisiting this film from almost 10 years ago, so this shouldn't be too bad. You want to take a look? So do I. Let's dive right in. No pun intended.
So the film opens up with a family going off on vacation for whatever amount of time to fill the movie's running time, as we see their pet rat named Roddy, played by Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman.
You want to get out of my way?
Yeah, that speaks for itself. And hey, since this is the late 2000s, why not throw in a few cliches that people in movies usually do when they are home alone? And I mean it, every Home Alone cliche is used in the first 4 minutes of the movie. Picking out which clothes he's gonna wear for the day while a pop song plays? Check! Interacting with a little girl's doll collection while I'm guessing might be a little normal for most people? Check! Golfing with peas as opposed to marbles? Check! Pulling off a James Bond reference? Check!
Boy, they're really pushing these cliches out much faster than the ones from the Water Babies.
Oh, almost forgot about referencing another popular movie that we all know and love. That's the icing on top of that cake.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
So while powering down for the night, he suddenly hears strange noises going on.
What was that? Who's there?
The producers of Paranormal Activity 7?
Alright, I'm just gonna quietly walk around the house with a miniature flashlight that'll in no way make the purge any more subtle. But just to make sure it isn't, let's play this over it.
Cat! Oh, shut up!
Whoa! They do not, repeat not, have food like this in the sewer.
So upon his search, he comes across a sewer rat named Sid, played by Shane Ritchie. And yes, insert some hocus pocus and fish out of water misunderstanding jokes here.
Would you look at the size of that monster?
Gee, I guess since a plasma screen TV is what got him excited, imagine what else he would be excited for.
Oh my god, guys, a rock! I can't believe what I'm seeing! Look at the size of this rock! Screw any of the smaller rocks, we need to address the elephant in the room!
I'm afraid it's time for you to leave. Ugh.
I would not do that if I was you, pal.
Moses from Planet of the Apes says that it is my right to crash into someone's house without leaving under your orders, and by God, I'm going to exercise that right!
But Rocky is not too happy about him crashing into his own home, thus he tries to figure out a plan to get rid of him. So, what does he do? Confusing an average everyday toilet for a nice relaxing jacuzzi. Yeah, that's what people in the late 2000s do for a living, confusing one thing for another thing.
I remember this one time Life Again 10 crashed into my house and wouldn't be able to leave, so I confusing active volcano for a water slide. Yeah, true story. He really fell into that one. He's dead. He's right over there, right outside my house. I should really do something about that burnt corpse.
But Sid didn't fall into that trap, thus taking the Transformers logic and turned it into a trap on Roddy. Because of this, it ultimately results in Sid flushing Roddy down into the sewers.
I'm surprised you don't see the connection there.
Well, looks like another confusing something for something else joke is pulled off here. Ah, there's only 5,945 left to go.
Oh no, I can't swim! I can't swim! God! Swim.
So after getting flushed into the sewer, he comes across... Wow, I guess that might be Universal's inspiration for creating the minions from Despicable Me. So upon his discovery, he comes across a city that is identical to London, except down in the sewers. Oh well, might as well pull off a Wizard of Oz clip here.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Well, that's another clip from the Wizard of Oz being used. We might as well save the rest for later.
So, you're trying to get up top, me hearty.
Yes?
So Rocky wants to see if he can get back home, and with, by all means, quite a bit of luck, he knows someone who can help him.
Thanks for bringing me this far.
You're welcome.
Now if you'll excuse me, I'm off to repeat this again in The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. That's what every person talking like a pirate should do in order to get their paychecks. I know I have.
Ahoy there.
Man, I probably shouldn't have smoked so much pot before coming into the set. So this mechanical arm that was right behind Rocky when he came aboard is operated by a scavenger named Riga. And believe it or not, she's played by Kate Winslet. Yeah, since I guess she was doing this movie around the time Little Children was around.
I'm really quite surprised that this incredibly well-done actress would do anything after A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
What are you doing on my boat?
Look, I've had a really bad day and I just need your help. You see, I've been thrown out of my own home. I've been flushed down my own toilet.
But before she can give out the information to Rocky, a bunch of rats come in to capture our heroes and is then confronted by our...
What are you looking at?
Alan Cumming of the evening. Actually, that's Andy Serkis playing one of the hench rats. And you can tell why he's not doing a good job at it. Thus, they have to figure out a way to get out of this mess, which ultimately results in... this.
Alright, listen up. This gentleman, he's not from around here.
Thank you.
Just look how nicely he's dressed.
Oh, thank you.
And why? Because he's an international jewel thief.
But who would tell them that? That's what I want to know. Not me, I just wanted that to happen.
The booty's in the booty.
Hey!
So after finding the diamond that apparently no one can find in Riga's pants, I guess they don't want to push this movie up to a PG-13 rating. Our heroes are taken to the hench rats' boss, which is a toad named Toad.
Hello, Rita.
And by the way, I know lots of people are gonna kill me if I don't bring this up. That is Ian McKellen playing the Toad. And yes, it would be pretty hilarious to dub his role as Gandalf from the Lord of the Rings movies into this role.
That jewel belongs to my father, and you know it.
I am servant to the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnor. Dark fire will not avail you. Flame of Udun!
Yes.
So after Rocky destroys the world's most accidental-prone room, Toad tries to freeze them in the fridge, but our heroes manage to escape through a zipline chase.
There are things I want to do, sights I want to see. That wasn't on the list.
Well, Rocky, I'm sure you just made a perverted little 5-year-old sexual fantasy come true. I can't believe I just said that.
Keep your legs straight when you hit the water. I kept my legs straight, Spike. Oh.
Well, I'm sure you just made a 25-year-old man who is high on drugs comedic fantasy come true.
Riga and Rocky manages to outrun them as they decide to figure out a way to get Rocky back home. Oh wait, after discovering the diamond is fake. But while doing so, Riga goes into a brief backstory on why she wanted that diamond from earlier.
Sorry. Me and my dad worked these drains for years. He broke every bone in his body trying to get that ruby. It was going to be the answer to all our prayers.
Dad could possibly save my career, but don't worry, Titanic already did that for me, so why stop now?
So since Raggi feels quite a bit guilty, he decides to make a deal with Riga by telling her that if she can get him home, she will have the diamond back in his place.
No. See, back at my place, we've got a jewelry box crammed with rubies and diamonds, real ones. So all you have to do is just get me home to Kensington, and I'll make you rich beyond your wildest dreams.
Especially trying to get me into the next X-Men movie. But just be glad I decided not to do Fantastic Four. Oh yeah, I knew it was going to be crap.
Alright, you got yourself a deal.
So she agrees to the deal as we cut back to the Toad discussing his hench rats about what he's going to do next.
Forget the ruby! It's the Master Cable that I want. The one that grubby creature Rita took. Without it, my plan is ruined!
So they decide to go after our heroes because of a cable and not a diamond. I don't know about you, but do you really have to go after our heroes just because you only want one certain piece of technology from them? I mean, I don't know much about what they are trying to do, but I don't think it could lead to a simple explanation, especially when you try to kill the rats. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one thing. The entire plan from our main villain is just to kill all of the rats. What did a rat ever do to you, Toad? Did a rat kill your parents while you were asleep? Just something could bring you to a simple explanation on why those rats would at least try to be killed by a frog.
Or maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself. Man, I just need a break so that I can calm down from so much ranting.
Well, Bay, you're in a stroke of luck. We're nearly halfway through the video. Look at the little red bar.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
But don't worry, this will be the perfect spot to take a quick commercial break.
Wait, we have the budget for that now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, we'll be back in a moment, guys. So in the meantime, go ahead and go get yourself some lunch. I know I'll be up for some roast beef sandwiches.
Family movie collaboration will return after these messages. We now return to family movie collaboration.
So Raggi discovers that Riga has a family that she takes care of every night, literally on a boathouse that is not really tied onto the dock.
Mother, it's not Tom Jones. That's just my passenger.
She tries to see if her father can give her the map to them, but like every other overprotective father in the world, he declines.
No one's ever got past the rapids at Hyde Park. Once the current gets you...
Dad, he's gonna pay us.
For the last time, we don't need the money.
Even though most people clearly think it's clearly about the money. Jerk.
But upon hearing the news that Raggi was the one responsible for stealing the diamond, he takes Riga's boat and tries to get back home, but sadly not doing so well. And hey, it's been almost 40 minutes, let's throw in another sluggish cameo from those slugs we saw earlier.
Here's a little song.
Oh, it's a musical now! Skip it!
But Riga manages to catch up with him as they, what a shock, get into an argument and thus resulting in...
Hi, Jinx!
This is such an overreaction! Rita, you can't just leave me here on a dock?
Maybe I think you could have put me in something more subtle, like maybe Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland, or maybe a floating annoying orange.
Oh, looks like another musical number now. Skip it.
Moving right along. Footloose and fancy free.
So after winning back the deal, they decide to continue on with their journey, but that isn't until our villains come in to catch them. And it looks like this comedic chase scene suddenly turned into the Waterworld stunt show for some reason.
Look out! They're about to do the human triangle!
But they managed to catch up with them, and it seems like they're in trouble. How the hell do they get out of this? Well, that takes care of them. And that too.
Do you think the boss will be annoyed with us?
So Toad is not happy as his cousin named LeFrog, played by...
Bonjour.
Wait a minute. Is that the French guy from Godzilla?
Don't worry, I'll get it.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's really him. Well, I guess he would pretty much do anything to make up for that movie. It's almost a little bit like the time... Yeah, I know, weird transition for a topic, but whatever. It's almost a little bit like the time I traded and robbed my genius pet Dedenne for about $5 million. But instead, I got this Attack on Titan necklace. Fair trade, I guess.
Ugly, I'm right here. To your left.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You escaped that old lady's purse and found your way back here in about 6 days. Well, that's one wasted trade that I'll probably never forget. Anyway.
Upon hearing the news about the Toad's plan to kill all of the rats, turns out we actually do get a backstory on our main villain explaining why he hates rats. In the form of reading a picture book. And that's it, really.
Sharing that sweet and ever magical bond between boy and Toad.
You're gonna make me throw up.
We were inseparable until it arrived. I was cruelly plunged into a whirlpool of despair.
Wow, that has got to be the strangest backstory from one of our main characters that I've seen since...
He broke every bone in his body trying to get that ruby.
Well, that one.
So while it may look like our heroes made it to their destination, turns out LeFrog and his ninja minions manages to arrive to settle the score with them. Oh wait, after hijinks first!
Oh well, thank you for that.
So it's revealed that the Toad decided to go after the cable Riga has so that he can watch the World Cup final. Well gee, I guess he has followed in the line of Dennis Hopper from the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
See you later, alligator.
So our heroes managed to get rid of them by ripping off Finding Nemo, and it turns out they come across the rapids.
And it turns into a River Rapids ride for no reason whatsoever.
But nevertheless, LeFrog manages to grab the cable and tries to kill off our main heroes. How are they gonna get out of this? Thus, they manage to escape and make it back to the surface. When they make it back home, not only has Roggy kept his part of the deal, but it turns out Riga has discovered the truth.
I'm sorry, but if you have everything you need, then I really have to get going. I have a serious infestation to deal with.
And by infection, I mean trying to be a little bit more quirky so that I can attract even more creepy dolls. Oh yeah, we're still writing that.
So Riga manages to leave him behind as he finally decides to settle the score with Sid. But upon hearing from Sid and a few flashbacks, he discovers the Toad's plan the whole time.
That's why he needs the cable. When everyone goes to the toilet, the whole city will be flushed away.
Oh, of course! The Toad decided to wait until halftime to kill all the rats. I just love it when someone tries to, you know, purge the rats. But then again, why does the purge work again?
But upon the eve of the Toad's plan, Riga gets caught, thus getting the cable back to reactivate the system. But Roggy manages to get back just in time right before the Toad opens the floodgate and thus goes and rescues Riga. But our villain captures them again while trying to warn everyone about the flood.
For I shall repopulate the city with thieves.
Oh god! Oh man, I should have caught that. Yeah, that is pretty sick.
But hey, seeing up how this is a DreamWorks movie and has to keep their humor PG rated, we might as well add in this good old-fashioned reference.
Family picture.
So Rocky releases a bunch of liquid nitrogen all over most of the hench rats or hench frogs or whatever you call them nowadays, as if there is only one bullet left.
If I'm going, you're both coming with me.
Just go, Roddy!
But it seems like they might be too late. Or so they think. So they manage to stop the Toads' plan by freezing up the wave, thus saving the day.
I'll make you pay for this.
In the possible sequel, that will never happen! The sig, of course, ends with Riga finally getting a new boat, Rocky serving as Riga's mate, and, believe it or not, Sid getting a new friend. I don't know how that happened, but they came back home just in time for the credits to roll.
So that was flushed away. How does it hold up? Honestly, without any conflict whatsoever, this is actually far better now than it was when it was released nearly 10 years ago. So, in other words, it's actually pretty fun to watch.
But I suppose looking back on it, since after seeing it, it was pretty goofy and over the top, but now it's a pretty fun over the top animated flick to watch. While both Wallace and Gromit and Chicken Run are fun to watch as well, they can sometimes be a little more special to people big and small, and are basically the ones that people would watch more often. Here, it's a little bit more than that. I say this is actually the one flick that I think made Aardman what they are today. So yeah, I say it is goofy and over the top, but in a good way. So if you haven't seen it yet, then go ahead and go check it out. So on the family movie collaboration number scale, I'm gonna give Flush Away a 7.5 out of 10. Truly one animated film that still not only made Aardman the best stop-motion animation company to date, but a great reason why DreamWorks teamed up with them in the first place.
And I'm pretty good at understanding why people love films like this.
Indeed you have, Ackley.
You know, I have to admit, Fluttershy Plushie, this is actually not that bad comparing to my earlier episodes.
There now, you see? Isn't it always good to improve on what you do the most?
I guess so. Well, with this new formula for this show, almost being identical to the last season, I guess that means there are plenty more family movies out there for me to look at. What the hell was that?
Oh great, those Timberwolves are here to take me alive again. Looks like we better take care of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm Ackley Attack 4427, and now if you'll excuse me, I got some Timberwolves at my door.
Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration. Family movie collaboration.
Current and nostalgic, but not too nostalgic.
He's the world's most famous YouTube critic. Family movie
He really rocks.
He's a critic in a nutshell, but not.
I kept my legs straight, Spike. Oh.
Hey guys, this is Ackley Attack 4427 here. Thank you for watching this latest episode of Family Movie Collaboration. There was a lot of time and effort being put into this episode, and we're glad how it turned out. Thanks for watching, and thanks for making this possible. So, if you want to see the previous Family Movie Collaboration review on The Water Babies, click the video on the left.
You know what, Tobe? I got a funny feeling we're under water!
I could tell because some guy off camera is pulling some invisible rope while I'm screaming out my lines! Like Dog Hunt! If you want to see an episode of Thomas's Adventures with Sam the Thomas Fan 1 and Ackley Attack 4427, click the video in the middle that'll take you to the 35th episode, Cranky Bugs.
Push your trucks onto the outside line.
But why?
It's easier for me to load up.
And if you want to see a video on my main channel, click the video on the right that'll take you to my convention vlog on Retro GameCon 2015.
Yeah.
And why aren't you here? Why aren't you at Retro GameCon?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Well, I think
Maybe some of them will have been.
I think most people that are watching me don't have any money to go.
Yeah, that's probably it. Cheapskates. No, it's okay. We'll see you next year. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, if you want to see our own content that me and Sam create, then feel free to click on one of the 2 icons that will take you to our main channels. If you have any constructive criticisms or any advice on how we can improve our videos in the near future, or want to leave requests for what the next family movie collaboration review will be, then feel free to leave them in the comment box below. If you want to see more videos on this channel coming up in the near future, then feel free to click on that subscribe button. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for my next review. Until then, take care!